trying out this feature on mobile because yesterday and on Friday I went live on my desktop through StreamYard, and it's a very different experience, and I'm not sure what it's like for the person at the other side. So I'm just kind of experimenting with things really at the minute. But I had lots of aha insights yesterday when I was talking about my ideal client, so I was happy with that. But yeah, so I went live on the desktop at like 12 o'clock, like the planned live, and there was nobody came actually live, which was totally fine and expected, because I am really new to using YouTube like this. But then later in the afternoon, I thought, oh, do you know what? I'm just going to try and see what happens if I go live on my mobile, because presumably it goes straight to the shorts feed. And I was like totally shocked because there was about like 20 people or something like that just all of a sudden appeared. So it is obviously very different. So if anybody wants to tell me what the difference exactly is between going live on a desktop and going live on your mobile, and whether it's literally just a case of I could read all the comments and stuff, but I couldn't do any of that on desktop. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm here, and I think I prefer this anyway because it just feels more relaxed and I'm more able to interact rather than having it on desktop. But I just don't know if it saves in the same way, that's all. But I'm sure it'll all work out. It's all one big experiment anyway, isn't it? You've got to try things and see how they work and stuff, and that's the main thing. So from yesterday, I've been really thinking loads about my ideal client so yesterday I was talking about my ideal client for my copywriting services, my done for you copywriting services. And it became very apparent that I know that person very well. Obviously, I've been doing this for like over 10 years. I mean, obviously my ideal client's changed, but like I know my ideal client for my copywriting services really well. But then I was like getting in a bit of a muddle and a knot when I was talking about my ideal client and who I'm speaking to on YouTube and TikTok as well. And it's because I hadn't really formed a proper idea about what it is that I'm doing this for, but I do know what I'm doing it for. I'm doing it for myself so that I can practice speaking. I'm doing it for myself because I want to articulate my message in a more clearer way. And I also genuinely really want to help people to attract better clients, obviously, because, I understand, I've been in business a long time, and I really understand that struggle of when you're constantly attracting the wrong people into your business. Like I say, I've been doing this for 10 years. The problems that I have with clients are very different to the problems that I used to have. It's more, and that brings us as well to talking about what I wanted to talk about today was kind of around the third part of how to attract better clients, which is around boundaries. And the boundaries for me in my copywriting business are very much around when people push on the process. And especially like bigger companies where the pushback on the process, on my process, which is like a well-worn process. And when you first kind of set out, your boundaries are more, I'd say, like your working hours and whether you work on a weekend and whether you reply to emails straight away. Like those are the kind of boundaries. So it just depends on where you're at, really. I'm just going to ignore any comments that I don't know how to respond to, honestly, because yesterday, so I was really funny yesterday. I pressed live and I had no, like, I really didn't think that there was anybody going to come on to the live. But then there was like loads of people kept coming and going as well, obviously. But like people were asking us mad questions that I had absolutely no clue on the answer to, about like fighter jets and things, and what was my opinion on fighter jets, and then the stuff that I never really understand. So I thought today I'm just going to talk, and like so I don't really use YouTube very much. So I use it probably in a different way to the people who might be watching this live. So I don't know like what the etiquette is, if that makes sense. Etiquette, I don't know. I don't know exactly. So I'm just going to make it up as I go along. And if the people who want to listen can listen, and the people who don't want to listen don't. So the reason I'm saying all that is because I'd like the comments just don't make any sense to us. Like they're not part of what I'm saying, and so I'm just gonna ignore them. So sorry, David from the future. I know you know that I'm reading it, but I just don't understand. Right. So I feel like I really want to tell you a funny story because you're saying I'm listening, Mum, and I went on. I went on like a Meta headset. My son's got a Meta. I can't even remember what they're called. Like that, I am old, obviously, and I went on it and I didn't realize that there was going to be real people in the like game. It was so funny, and I put it on, and they started talking to us. I didn't even know. Like I was so freaked out because I did not expect that. I thought I was just going to put this thing on, and I've forgotten even the name of it. I thought I was just going to put that on and then I'd look at pretty stuff. But there was actually real people. It was crazy. So that was my funny story. I was just freaked out because everyone started calling us. Yeah, so that was it. That's what made us think, I'm listening, Mum, right? So they knew for a fact, all these kids in this game knew that I was a mum because of the way I was acting in the game. So they all started crowding around us saying, are you a mum? Are you a mum? Because I was in some like American game. Oh, it was really funny. But anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna just talk about my my thing, and hopefully the algorithm will put us out to the right people. Yes, so my ideal client is I say client. I'm not actually selling anything yet, but I might in the future. And I've got some ideas for what I'm going to sell in the future. But the person who I want to help attract better clients is likely a creative person, because I'm used to working with a lot of creative people, marketer, web designer, a fellow copywriter, all those kind of creative type service providers who is struggling to attract the clients that they really want to attract into the business. So they're stuck undercharging and over-delivering because they are really good at what they're doing. They can't just like stop delivering a brilliant service. So they always go above and beyond in their customer service. But they're undercharging, so that's the problem. So what I want to do is help them to increase the prices, double the prices, which is completely doable if you get your positioning right. And by positioning, I mean the message that you need to share in your content across all of your marketing. So that was my kind of aha from yesterday. If anybody wants to ask us any questions about anything that I'm talking about, then please do. But I don't really want to talk about Boris Johnson. don't really want to talk about Boris Johnson. But I do want to talk about, if anybody happens to watch this who is a small creative business owner, that is who I want to get in front of. So it's just whether this is a good test, really, isn't it, to find out if I'm getting shown to the right people. Sure, start with scope creep. Right, that is a sensible question. It all starts in the sales conversation. Well, it all starts in your marketing. So you need to have, right, okay. So it starts with scope creep happens because everybody isn't clear from the very beginning. So you need to make it very clear, and it's kind of the easiest way to do that is create packages and have very, very detailed deliverables in that package. So that's the easiest way to do it. Not everybody works well with packages, and some people like to bespoke quote, which is fine, but you've got to be really clear with what's included at the very beginning, and it starts at your marketing. And then when you're selling, what I always do is in my marketing, I make it very clear what people get and what they don't get. Then when I get a sales call, I'll make it very, very clear. Again, to make sure that the other person knows exactly what they're getting. Then throughout the process, there's a timeline and a fixed process. And this is what I was meaning at the beginning of when I was talking, and I was talking about boundaries and pushing back on the process, because that messes everything up. So if you have a really clear idea of what you want to deliver in the project, then you will confirm that with them at the beginning multiple times. So like I say, in your marketing, in your sales process, in the sales conversation, then throughout the project, keep confirming all the time, nicely, kindly, with a really it's all about the tone when you're confirming these things. It's like making sure that they take this for example. I include one round of revisions in every copywriting project, and I do that to avoid scope creep. I make sure in my marketing, this is marketing, I guess, isn't it? But across all marketing channels, that I talk about the fact that I include one round of revisions. In the sales process, I'll make that clear. In the contract, I'll make that clear. And throughout the project, I'll kind of remind them. And it's all about the communication at every single level. Let us know if that has answered your question. And if that kind of helps. Sounds like a version of a peep and Tom scope. That's funny. Thank you, Daniel. I'm gonna have to turn my radiator off because I'm really hot now. So, what time is it? How long have I been rabbiting on for? Because I don't want to stay too long. Also, Daniel, if you don't mind, if you've got any opinion on this, do you know what the difference is between going live on desktop and going live on mobile, and what the benefits are of each, and if there is even any difference, or whether it's just literally a difference for me and one's horizontal and one's vertical, and if that's the only difference, I don't know, or if anybody else wants to let me know, because I'm just experimenting with different ways to do things and trying. There's no difference at all. Thank you. Right, okay, so it still just pops up on the same. I find YouTube quite like there's it's complicated. The user experience is complicated. There's a lot of different tools hidden in different places compared to some other platforms, but I think its potential for me is really really good. And being able to talk to people like this and answer questions, I love answering questions. Like, that's where I really thrive. So doing lives like this is just a perfect format for me, really. And I do like making short videos as well. They're fun to make. Yes, it's easier to block comments on desktop that are irrelevant to your subject matter. Right, okay. I think I'm just trying to, like, it's hard to know which comments to respond to and which not to, I guess. Yeah. But thank you for that. Yeah, like I thrive on answering questions because I'm so thorough with everything that I do. Pedantic might be the word. I'm so thorough with everything that I do that I always feel like I've got an answer, and if I don't have an answer, then I'll just say, oh, I don't know the answer to that. So yeah. So I've got wrote down lessons from yesterday, covering the 3 things that will help you attract better clients with your marketing again, which I've covered in like every live that I've done so far. This is the 3rd one. It's only the 3rd one, but I had started off saying sharing your opinions is number 1, but I've tweaked that today to be talking about your ideas, thoughts and opinions, because I didn't want people to think I meant just sharing controversial opinions. It's sharing all of you. It's talking, basically, like what I'm doing now. I'm developing my brand message through talking. You can do this through writing as well, but the point is you need to get what's in your head out of your head and into the world so you can get feedback. And you know, feedback includes negativity as well. And like, if when you say something and some people don't agree, that is like the best form of the best experiment to help you with your marketing, because then if people aren't understanding what you're saying, then you need to go back and clarify your message again. So it's like a constant cycle of improvement. With Score Creep, the round of changes, it's tough when it comes to digital design. I don't know whether websites is included in that digital design, but my web designer, when I first had my website designed, took a different approach that I hadn't come across before, so he gave me like a mock-up of the website where I could add in any comments where I wanted changes to the design, and he gave me a time frame to fit everything in. So it was like, I think a week. He gave me a week to go in and out of the, I think it's called a mock-up. He gave me a week, and within that week I kept dipping in and putting different comments, but then though it was one round, but it was done in a time frame. Website, logo design, SEO, etc. I think it really depends on how bespoke the website and how much you're charging for your website, logo design and SEO. Because if you're a high-end company, then yes, as part of the charging a high-end price, you can give more than one round of revisions. But I think it's tied to where you sit in where you sit in the market, because no, don't be sorry for putting us on the spot. I love this. It's like what I thrive on. Yeah, so it depends on how much you're charging. So if you want to give more than one round of revisions, that's because how you work best, and you want to do that. So then I would just say you charge a premium for your services, because that is a premium level service, to give multiple rounds of revisions until the client's happy. And I would say the caveat to that would be if they change what they want. So I've had a client recently who's changed what they want. Now that doesn't come under endless revisions, does it? Because they've changed the scope, and I think you're probably having that baked into your contract at the beginning makes things clear. Then you can just say, the way I would approach that would be very gently, like, okay, that's no problem at all. We can change this part of the scope. It'll cost this amount, like in a nice way like that. Also, that's just reminded us, Grand Carrot, that for anybody who's watching, to subscribe to me, because I have just got a teeny baby channel, and any subscribers will really help me. So yeah, I did write that down on my notes, to ask for subscribers, because when I was because I'm not used to YouTube and talking about subscribers, when I was made a short video and I said follow for whatever, because that's what I'm used to doing on TikTok. And I've got to remember, if I'm on YouTube, I have to say subscribe. This is because I'm old, and it's all just new to me and stuff. Yeah, that made sense, Danielle. Thank you. I'm not like new to doing live stuff. I've been live like years ago. I used to run a group program where I was teaching people to write lead generating sales copy, and I used to go live on Facebook. Like my main audience was really on Facebook. That we're going back to like 2021 in COVID times, and I was doing lives as I had COVID. But then I stopped doing that for so long, and I didn't even like think about going live on YouTube. I totally didn't, I've had a YouTube channel for years and I didn't even think about going live on YouTube. But then somebody on TikTok suggested that my TikToks would be good and as YouTube shorts, and so I did it, and I actually found I actually think YouTube's a really good place, because unlike TikTok's annoying, because I haven't got 1,000 followers yet, so I can't put any links in or anything like that, but I've got like 2 links on my channel page. That's another thing I've got to get used to, calling it a channel page and not my profile and my this, that and the other. Sheesh, it's keeping up with the kids is hard, So I've been chatting away for like 23 minutes, so I think I'm gonna go now and get on with some work, because I have got a client call starting in 40 minutes, so I need to prepare for that. There is a blog post I'm thinking of working on: web design, image generation using AI prompting compared to freelancers' round of changes. All right, okay. Design. I'm still here. It's how many times you prompt compared to. I don't know whether how many times you as a designer to make changes. No, it doesn't make sense. There's a blog post I'm thinking of working on, web design, image generation using AI prompting compared to freelancers' rounds of changes. How many times you prompt? What's the purpose of the article? To show people that a web designer is doing a lot of work. Like, is it educating the audience so that they know that your job's, I'm not sure what the purpose is or the end goal. So whenever it's about AI prompting, but what's the end goal? So what do you want to educate your audience on? AI prompting's better than rounds of changes. Okay. I would, yeah. So what I'm asking is, like, I would only ever write a blog post if it has a clear goal, and I'm sure your blog post has got a clear goal. I just don't understand what the clear goal is. Like, what do you want people to do with that information? What do you want them to think? How do you want them to think after they've read that information? That's what I would be wondering. Anyway, I definitely have to go now because it's 26 minutes and I was only going to be on 20 minutes. But thank you, and join us tomorrow at 12 again, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and then that helps me keep motivated and I'll definitely turn up answering questions at 12 every day, at 12 UK time. Right, okay, bye, thank you.